Welcome back, everybody, to Monster Hunter World. I'm meeting you at the canteen today this time, just because we're gonna go help those scholars in that new Wildspire Waste area, and I figured we'd kind of use some of our money and just kind of get a small little attack up and Feline Polisher. We've never actually ate at the canteen yet. We did get that one better meat ingredient, which is giving us the small attack boost. It's not too much. It's only gonna cost us 50Z. We don't really need to. You get this cool cutscene. And they make the great food, and it's, you know, it's a real simple snack. It's only giving us an attack up S, so it's not giving us anything, you know, huge and substantial, but still good, still good. And yeah, with that, we're gonna speak to the handler, and we're gonna accept the best kind of quest. So yes, we have to go to the Wildspire Waste area to investigate that piece of AzurePKK, and we have to protect the scholars. We will not use a voucher for this one though, but yeah, we'll be fine. We've got our equipment, we've got our armor. I think we'll be pretty fine. And now just to wait to head out. But yeah, other than that, as was stated with each episode, this is our last episode using the dual blades. In the next episode, we will be transitioning to the hammer, because I'm doing light weapon, heavy weapon, light weapon, heavy weapon as like a transition, and here we go.
Okay. Got it?
We've waited this long
Yep,
to get
this
our
is
hands on the
an
evidence we need.
escort
Don't
quest.
get killed now, Hunter.
I hardly slept a wink last night. I'm so excited to go out and see this new piece of evidence.
The slag was found in the desert area of the Wildspire. Guide us there safely, partner.
Yep, so we have to go find that piece of AzurePKK that is in the Wildspire Wastes, a very deserty looking area that we find ourselves in today.
One
And
thing's
a new-
for sure, the environment here is completely different from the ancient forest.
Yes, the Wildspire Waste features a mixture of dry land and swamps, which naturally supports its own unique ecosystem.
And a new area means new monsters to fight. I like how we don't push the wagon either, like we just kind of hang out around them.
Hey,
But yeah,
look,
we're just...
a waterfall.
The water filters down through the sand and collects in the lower areas, thus creating a mire.
Oh, great. We get to go uphill now.
Come on now, my dear handler. Put your back in it.
And we're just kind of exploring the area while they're pushing the wagon. We're just taking it all in. One piece at a time. And a new area means new monsters. Most likely.
Look at that insect. Is that some type of beetle?
The wildlife here are quite resilient creatures. They have adapted excellently to the dry climate.
Even the plants have learned to survive. The fruit scattered throughout the area has a hard shell that helps retain moisture.
But yeah, we can't really run too far ahead, so we're just kind of waiting on them. So that's why I'm just collecting stuff in the background while we're kind of, and give you a little bit of a feel of the area and just kind of the sounds and the environment. Just take it all in.
Oh, dear me, we made it. Can we have a break now?
Look, the Wildspire. That's where we'll find what we came for.
But we still have a ways to go.
Well, on we go.
Long ways to go. Other than pushing that cart, and we're going
Actually,
downhill.
Downhill might be worse. This is so heavy.
Oh, dear me! A Rathian!
Jumpin' Jaggies! A Rathian!
You know what this means, my friends. In times like these, it is important to stay calm.
And run for your life!
Go, go, go. Just move on through. You might be able to use your slinger to create some kind of noise and distract them.
Yeah, I believe you can use the slinger ammo to distract Rathian, or you can just kind of fight Rathian. I actually don't really know if it makes you fight Rathian. I just always choose to fight it while they get away. And now that they're starting to get away, I'm going to follow them and get out of here. Don't want to stay and fight Rathian. Rathian's a bit too strong for us to handle right now in this game. A challenge we are not yet equipped to tackle. And Rathian won't chase us out of there either, because it's a story mission. If you're in the field, Rathian would have gave chase.
That was horrifyingly close.
Hell hath no fury like a Rathian scorn. Well, like any Rathian, actually.
But she could provide the Commission with valuable data. Hunter, I couldn't trouble you for a sample, could I?
Maybe. There will be new armor and weapons. We're almost there, though. As a preamp, we'll sharpen our weapon, just to be super stock.
I was aware that Zoromagdaros was an enormous beast, but I am in shock over how gargantuan it really is.
Yes, it certainly seems to exceed the measurements in all the guild's writings.
I wonder, how many years does it take for a beast like this to grow to such an enormous size?
Oh, look! Apseros!
An herbivore native to this region. Wait, why are they running?
They look scared.
See, when Apseros feel threatened, they assume a defensive posture.
Whatever's out there, it could be a danger to us too. We have to be careful. Finally, I thought we'd never get here.
Look at it. Glorious. It is absolutely massive. What a magnificent specimen.
And mysterious footprints as well.
Almost there. Keep it up.
What could this be?
The evidence is within sight. You've done a fine job, Hunter.
Made it.
Let's see what kind of present ZoraMagdaros has left for us.
Keep pushing. Oh, look over there! Another clue!
Me first.
Eureka!
Jumping Jaggies! Eat your better off! Run for your life!
Follow me. Come on.
Alright. Our next monster, a Baroth. Baroth is classified as a brute wyvern.
Down that barrel.
So Baroth is a very aggressive style monster. So instead of just kind of running around and scavenging for stuff like stuff we fought in the past, Baroth will kind of charge at us, and obviously with its very stone-like face, it's going to ram us. Luckily, Milo's going to kind of get in there with some poison, and we're getting some pretty decent kind of slide and maneuver attacks with our dual blades. The mud that it summoned, that we kind of fell in for a second, inflicted us with Water Blight. That doesn't lower the amount of stamina that we use, but it does slow the rate at which our stamina recovers. So that is a slight problem. And just like that, I didn't realize I didn't have enough stamina. So now we fell off Baroth, and now I have no energy left. Not getting a mount yet, which is a little unfortunate. I want to get the mount just to get a free easy down. And now it's enraged, so with the clutch claw mechanic we cannot flint shot it. And there's its brute wyvern likeness coming into play where it just rams. Now I could be using the clutch claw to try to soften parts of its body. That is a very good mechanic, and I would recommend that generally. I'm just not, unfortunately, I'm not that solid player. I don't do it all the time, especially with weapons I'm not overly familiar with, but what we will do... Whoop. Oh, I thought we were going to get them out, so I took that risky attack. I took the risky attack, and now we're stunned for it. I don't think we'll die from this, though. We will take increased damage, especially with Baroth shaking. We're not in any danger. We'll heal, though. Weird that we actually have to heal in battle. I want to try to get this mount off this pillar. No, still no mount. Alright, we're just going to go for damage. Yeah, brute wyverns are unfortunately my weaker aspect of fighting. Brute wyverns are my weakness. They're not one. I technically have two. Technically, flying wyverns, like ones that exclusively fly, are my weak matchups. Those are my weaker ones. But brute wyverns are also fairly close. Those are pretty high up there in terms of weaker matchups. They're just hard for me to deal with them. Like, I'm almost dying from this. So we heal up again. It is always okay to heal. You're bound to get hit. You're going to take some damage. So it's okay to get hit. It's that kind of game. So I'm going to try to top our health off here. Still can't get the mount off him. Still can't get it. Man, he's making this challenging. He's making me work for the mount. Still can't get it. Oh, and took a full frontal ram attack. Luckily, that did not stun us. If that did, we probably could have died from that. I am running low on potions. That is a bad sign. We're getting good... I don't even know what you would really call that. If you do a slide animation and do the attack button with the dual blades, you'll be able to kind of slash across, like, along the entire length of a monster's body. But since we have the clutch claw, we can do cool stuff like this. It does like no damage on his head, but it can soften it up. It can soften it up. I should have probably hung back and sharpened my weapon back to green since we're almost even out of yellow. But I'm a fairly aggressive person. I don't want to let him get away. No, still couldn't get the mount. You don't always need to stay on the monster. You don't have to just do what I do and rush after them. You can kind of take your time. So since there's a mining outcrop, since those aren't the most common thing to see around the entire map, we're going to grab it. We're going to sharpen our blades, be back to green. That way when we eventually catch up to Baroth, we're going to be totally ready to lay the 100% smackdown he knows is coming towards him. And that's where we're at. So yeah, he's over here. And yeah, he's not weakened enough yet. He is non-aggressive, so we can Go for a nice flint shot takedown. And I think that broke a piece of his head. So nice. Very good. Now his front feet are technically one of his weaker spots. So that's why I'm trying to kind of hang to the front of him, but obviously his head kind of makes it where we'll bounce off because it's very, very sturdy. So, to explain this really quick, if you know Final Fantasy in any regard, you know what the Cactuar is. At one point in Monster Hunter's lifespan, it added... Oh wow, that still damaged me. That's great. They did add an update that added some Final Fantasy aspects of this game, and it is for that reason why Cactuar is here. He would not normally be here when you first play the game. It's after they added the Final Fantasy update to the game that Cactuar is there. He'll always be there, and if you attack him or just trigger him or anything else, he shoots all those needles, which as you saw was doing a significant amount of damage to Barroth and doing significant damage to us. So it is a very good trap. It's a very good trap to land on the monster to kind of rack up damage. I think it does like 100 damage ticks, I think. I could be easily wrong about that, but it does do sizable damage. So Barroth with his crying sound, if you heard it for a second, he is almost dead and he ran away and he is resting, which this does give them health back. But Barroth is a very muddy monster, so he actually coats himself back in a layer of mud. If you break that off, you'll do more damage to him, but yeah. He kind of makes like a small coat of mud on himself. And look at that, he was almost dead, and we did it.
You did it, partner. Okay, I'll be waiting over by the slag.
We did it. Obviously, we're going to carve it and find out what our new weapons and new armor are going to be that we unlocked by taking down Barroth. Barroth isn't very, like, he is not the most difficult brute wyvern. He's kind of introductory. I don't think there's any matchup dependence depending on what you're good with, but I would say with brute wyverns, for how aggressive they are with being able to stun them by just hitting their head as a weak spot, heavy weapons are pretty good. Stuff like the hammer that we'd use next time would have been a great weapon to use against Barroth, but we use the dual blades, so we don't follow any rhyme or reason. We just kind of do what we want. We just kind of play by our own rules. Could we have used the hammer for Barroth for a better matchup? Yeah, but when you're playing the game, you're not going to always have the most ideal matchup, so I don't want to just shuffle my weapons to have every match be the ideal setup I want. I want fights to kind of be like, okay, well, we're using a weapon that's not very good against this style of monster, at least for me, so.
Oh, hey! Glad you're back. Oh, don't worry. I found a safe place for the scholars to hide. I guess I'll go round them up. Wait for us back at camp.
You there. Are you part of the Fifth Fleet? Then that means the Elder Crossing is upon us again. The years fly by faster than I can count them. I too am a hunter of the First Fleet. Might I trouble you to share your tale with me? Let's find a suitable place. So, my old friends are well. Praise be. It sounds like the good scholars are as incorrigible as ever. Might I ask, are you tracking the monster that dropped that massive slag? I as well. It seems so easy. Follow the trail, find the truth. Well, it has been a pleasure. Nearby you will find my camp. I trust it will be of some avail to you and the others. Please pass a message on to the commander that I am safe. But a force compels me on, and I intend to see where it takes me. If you too feel so compelled, then we will cross paths again at the end of all of this.
Was that who I think it was?
It's very cool because his walking stick is the insect glaive, so it's really cool that he uses a weapon we can use just as his walking stick just to travel around. But yeah, we took down Baroth. Or Barioth? Yeah, Baroth. Sorry, there is a monster in the game that has a name similar to Baroth, so I kind of sometimes get them confused amongst each other. Yeah. So that takes care of that. And we found a person from the first fleet who knows who the commander is but has not seen them in a while and is also tracking Azure Magdaros.
Good to see you.
Fine work out there. Thanks to you, our people are safe and we know more about our target than ever. Since you left, we've been charting all the evidence we've collected across the continent. The scholars think they'll be able to pinpoint Azure Magdaros' location soon. Until then.
Okay.
Seems like a scholar has gotten separated from his escort. I need the fit to go and find him and guarantee his safety. The scholar was separated from his escort while collecting evidence in the Wildspire Wastes. And we have Camp 11.
Wildspire Waste immediately.
Immediately, he says. So, before we do that, we will check out... No, actually, I will save checking out our new armor and everything that we collect from beating new monsters at the end of the episode. Like, I'll have a little end clip that'll kind of show you all of the armor. But we did have those optional quests that we'll try to take down. We'll try to tackle, like, one of them. So we have Fungal Flexin in the Ancient Forest. Deliver 20 gourmet shroom caps. So, if you remember, the chef, the Meowster chef up at the canteen, gave us this, and if we do this, he'll add another pretty neat canteen ingredient to make our canteen a little bit stronger. Right now, we only get a very small attack boost and still no health boost, but a small stamina buff. The more of these you do to help the chef and everything else, the better it'll be. Alright, so we don't tackle any monster in this quest, but these are delivery quests on another tutorial. So, as you saw in the escort with these scholars, there was that kind of tough skin fruit that
Step 1, go find some.
The tough skin fruit that I harvested, it's things like that. They're on your map, but they don't really show up till you're close enough. So something kind of like this, but this is just a flower bed. They are always these little question mark style items. So we got sunbloom from this one. I don't quite remember where all of the things are, so I'll check this area to show you what. Yeah, here we go. Unique mushroom colony. This is what we are looking for this quest. So by harvesting it.
Perfect. You've got the materials you need. I'll mark where you found these on the wildlife map.
So now I believe what she says is true, is that she will find them on our map in general, or only if we get near them, I believe. I think she only marks the one that you find. Yeah, she'll only mark the ones that you find. So you have to find them for her to mark them. But there is one right next to it. We need to collect 20 of these. This is obviously going to take a minute. I don't think we've had any armor up till this point that could benefit us, but if you want to save this quest for later and find armor at some point, either that we've already had that I'm not remembering, or armor that we'll get soon, if you get a skill called, I believe it's Harvester, or maybe it's Geologist, will allow you to get an extra harvest when doing stuff like this. It's not going to make, it's not going to be like, oh man, we're going to get 1,000 more per one, but it does make a difference. Oh, she actually highlighted one nearby. Like, we actually got close enough to another one that she highlighted on the map. See it down there? Right here. Now, after so long, I believe these will respawn. If you look at the one just north of my icon on the mini-map, maybe I'll pull it up on the actual wildlife map to show you as an example. So, you see here, it is refilling. So if you just want to hang out in the field and do other random stuff or collect materials or stock up on healing items, you can do that while you wait for these to recharge. I'm going to run around the map to areas I think there will be other ones, and I'll kind of cut around to show you where other ones are. If not, you can just come back and wait, and you'll find these three, and they'll respawn. So I will look for some more, and I will see you guys in a little bit whenever I find one, or I'll meet you back in this area. And that is our 20th one. I like how I had to travel quite a ways across the entire map to find one more after we got 19 of 20. But yeah, as you saw in the clip, generally you can find most of them just southeast of Camp 11, and then just north of Camp 11 is where most of them are. Like, we got 19 of 20 in just that area alone, so you could have easily waited, or maybe I missed one I just didn't see, but even then, just trap the other side, you'll find another one. And yeah, just random other stuff. This wasn't like a super action quest. Not all of them are going to be like that. There are a handful of just delivery quests. But it does add soiled shroom cap was added to the canteen, exquisite mushroom was added to was an ingredient, and then shine bloom was also added. So yeah, doing stuff like this is really great because like I just saw, it's really good about adding ingredients to your canteen to just make your canteen better. So yeah, we escorted the scholars. We brought the scholars to Wildspire Wastes. We encountered Baroth, a brand new brute wyvern style monster in the Wildspire Wastes, and then we headed back to the ancient forest and collected some shroom caps to deliver to the Meowster chef to make our canteen better. So we're gonna end this episode the same way we began it, hanging out at the canteen, ready for that next meal for the next hunt. So I will see you guys in the next episode, and remember, we'll be using the hammer. So next episode, it's hammer time, guys. So until then, thank you, and I will see you next time.